Is a little recognition too much to ask for? Welcome to MsMojo, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 underrated Disney heroes. Before we begin, we publish new videos every day, so be sure to subscribe for more great content. For this list, we're taking a look at major Disney characters that risked a lot for what seemed like little recognition in the long run.
If it weren't for this girl, you would still be in the Horned King's dungeon.
Number 10, Miss Bianca, the Rescuers franchise.
Oh, Mr. Chairman, please may I have this assignment?
She may be small and sweet, but this little mouse is feisty when she needs to be. When Bianca reads Penny's letter at the Rescue Aid Society headquarters, she jumps into action to save her. Penny is an orphan who's being abused by the terrifying Madame Medusa in the bayou. Before even reaching Penny, Bianca and her partner Bernard get thrown out of a car, shot at, and even attacked by crocodiles. Despite all of this, Miss Bianca stays positive and fights to save Penny, transforming her from an abused orphan to a happy little girl.
If the three of us work together and we have a little faith...
That's what Rufus said. Faith makes things turn out right.
She proves herself to be equally daring in the 1990 follow-up, when Miss Bianca and Bernard set out to save a little boy.
But you don't understand. A boy needs our help. He's in trouble.
Number 9, Emperor Kuzco, the Emperor's New Groove.
No! You threw off my groove!
At first, Emperor Kuzco is a selfish and cruel ruler who doesn't care for the people that he considers below him. Sometimes the most heroic thing someone can do is admit they were wrong and change.
By the way, you're fired.
Fired?
When Kuzco fires his advisor Yzma, she plans to kill him so she can rule. The assassination fails and Kuzco is turned into a llama instead.
What? A llama? He's supposed to be dead!
Becoming a llama really humbles Kuzco. So after he defeats Yzma with the help of Pacha, he rights all of his wrongs. He lets Pacha keep his land and becomes the ruler his people deserve. And the hero we do as well.
Boom, baby! Boom, baby!
Number 8, Helen Parr, Elastigirl, The Incredibles.
You are Elastigirl! My God, pull yourself together!
Elastigirl isn't just a hero, but a bona fide superhero. Yet she always seems to be left out in favor of her husband, Mr. Incredible. She may not have super strength, but that's kind of overrated anyway. Elastigirl has enough of her own tricks, like her super flexible body, intelligence, and the ability to fly a military jet.
20 miles southwest of your position.
She puts all of these skills to use when she's fighting crime, sneaking through an enemy base, or trying to keep her family safe. It's thanks to her that the villainous syndrome doesn't kill Mr. Incredible. And she plays a huge part in defeating the bad guy and saving the world.
Bob, throw me!
Number 7, Robin Hood. Robin Hood.
Rob? That's a naughty word. We never rob.
Robin Hood is both a thief and a hero. So maybe it's this moral ambiguity that often leaves him forgotten. Now we all know the Robin Hood motto of steal from the rich and give to the poor. But this sly fox takes it one step further to take down a tyrant prince.
This will be my greatest performance.
When Prince John takes over ruling for his brother King Richard, the power seriously goes to his head. He starts overtaxing the citizens, putting innocent people in the dungeon, and takes ruling advice from a snake.
You haven't counted your money for days.
In response to this tyranny, Robin does what any self-respecting bandit would do. Share the prince's wealth, rescue the lovely Maid Marian, and take John out of power for good.
A pox on the phony King of England! Oh, the lally! Oh
no! It's so miserably unfair!
Number 6, Basil, the Great Mouse Detective.
Ratigan's up to something. A crime of the most sinister nature, no doubt.
Basil may come across as rude and cold at first glance, but by the end of the movie, he proves himself to be selfless, brave, and of course, heroic. When Olivia comes to Basil for help finding her father, it doesn't take long for him to uncover that Professor Ratigan, his arch-nemesis, is behind it. Using his Sherlock-level detective skills, he uncovers something much more sinister than a simple kidnapping. Ratigan is planning to kill Queen Mousetoria so that he can rule over the entire Mousedom. Luckily, Basil is on the case. and he outsmarts Ratigan and risks his life to save the day.
Hooray! Oh, good fellow! Oh, jolly good!
Number 5. Milo James Thatch, Atlantis: The Lost Empire.
There's a journal! It's in Iceland! I'm sure of it this time!
Milo may have started out as a clumsy scholar, but using his brains, passion, and courage, he becomes the savior of Atlantis. His first heroic move is giving the Atlanteans their identity back by translating an ancient tablet that they couldn't read themselves. The tablet is of vital importance, since it explains that the heart of Atlantis, a giant crystal, is the source of their power.
It wasn't a star, it was some kind of crystal.
Rourke, the leader of the expedition, tries to steal the heart for profit. Milo isn't about to sit back and let this happen, so he rallies an army to save the day, or at least die trying.
Where are you going?
I'm going after Rourke.
Milo, that's crazy.
I didn't say it was the smart thing.
Number 4. Jessie, Toy Story franchise.
Jessie, I didn't know.
Just go.
Her previous owner, Emily, sadly abandoned this fiery cowgirl. This leaves her with a fear of abandonment and claustrophobia. Throughout the franchise, Jessie shows that despite her past, she's brave, resourceful, and a force to be reckoned with. Her heroism is especially evident in the animated short Toy Story of Terror, where she gets a leading role.
Jessie finds a way!
When all the toys are kidnapped and locked away in a creepy motel, it's up to Jessie to save them. She overcomes her fears to free the gang and gets them back into Bonnie's loving arms.
Jessie!
Number 3. Esmeralda, the Hunchback of Notre Dame.
You mistreat this poor boy the same way you mistreat my people.
Let's get one thing straight. Esmeralda is not a damsel in distress. She stands up to tyranny and injustice no matter what it costs her. She was the first person to stand up and show compassion for Quasimodo when the crowd at the Festival of Fools tortures him. But this also gets her Frollo's unwanted attention.
What are you doing?
I was just imagining a rope around that beautiful neck.
She also saves the tough guy Phoebus from drowning when he's hit with an arrow. Seriously, what would these guys do without her? When she's tied at the stake, she could have possibly saved herself. But instead, she spits in Frollo's face, showing her iron spine even in the face of the flames.
Choose me or the fire.
Number 2. Hercules. Hercules.
Aren't you a damsel in distress?
He puts the glad in gladiator, but his heroic deeds are definitely underrated. Hercules was born a god, but he was kidnapped and stripped of this status by Hades and his minions. When Hercules learns the truth of his parentage, he wants to prove himself a hero and goes above and beyond to make this happen. He kills multiple monsters, including a Hydra with regenerating heads, and foils Hades' plot to take over the world. He also helps some bad guys see the light and change their ways. Meanwhile, Megara starts off working for Hades, but makes the ultimate sacrifice to save Herc. Fortunately, Hercules goes to the underworld to save her soul, showing off his heroic and romantic side.
A life without Meg, even an immortal life, would be empty.
Before we reveal our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Number 1. Quasimodo, the Hunchback of Notre Dame.
You helped me. Now I will help you.
To understand just how brave Quasimodo is, you have to understand where he came from. He was told that he was useless, unwanted, and a monster since he was a baby. He was raised by Frollo, who killed his mother and who kept the Hunchback hidden away in a bell tower his whole life. Despite all this psychological abuse, he still found the courage to leave the cathedral and help other victims escape Frollo's wrath. He ultimately saves Esmeralda from burning at the stake and defeats Frollo once and for all. After all that, he doesn't even get the girl of his dreams, but that's not what this is all about. Society finally embraces him as the hero he is, as should we. Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from MsMojo and subscribe for new videos every day.